Hey there guys, this is Reckles with WTBGold, and we're back! I needed a break from making videos for a little bit, so I took one, but I'm back! And this video is actually super duper important because Blizzard is changing the way loot works. Like, just loot drop rate. Blizzard is changing the way loot drop rates work in patch 7.3.5. So if you've been living under a rock or you missed BlizzCon or you didn't get a virtual ticket, here you go. Here's from the horse's mouth what is happening in patch 7.3.5.
On the one hand, all the mechanics of the game are telling you to get out of there, to move along for better rewards, more experience, a place where you belong, while the story is telling you to stay because you want to see what happens next. Now, in Legion, during the level up experience, we introduced the concept of scaling zones, and that allowed players to pick and choose their way through that experience. We are looking to take that tech and expand it to the entirety of World of Warcraft. So within these regions, there are level ranges with minimums and maximum levels. So we're thinking about a structure more like, imagine Westfall scales from 10 to 60, imagine Burning Steppe scales from 40 to 60. What if Burning Crusade content, the point is player choice, the point is having the experience that you want to have as you're leveling through WoW.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. Like, that's great. That's a great addition to the game for the leveling experience. But I was, and I know a lot of you guys were, not necessarily cheering as hard. We were actually kind of sitting in the back grumbling because we've seen this before. If you're new to the channel and you don't know what I'm talking about, back in Cataclysm, before Cataclysm, there were lots of quests that had been added over the years, and some of them, it was quest chains that just kind of stopped. Or they said, go kill this monster, go collect this thing. And that monster, that thing didn't exist anymore. Or they took you to one side of the map, and then you had to continue that quest over on the other side of the map. Just everything was a mess, and they fixed it with Cataclysm when Deathwing came. But in that process, they removed all the level 57, 58, 59, and 60 open world enemies in the game. The reason why that matters is because if you want to get a level 59 piece of gear, you need to kill a level 59 enemy in order to get the full drop rate. Like, in order to get a 1% drop rate, you have to kill a level 59 enemy. If you kill a level 58 enemy, that drop rate gets cut in half. If you kill a level 57 enemy, it gets cut in half again. The only mobs you could kill to get glorious leg plates after Cataclysm were level 54 enemies. So you had half of 1%. So you couldn't get this gear. Prices skyrocketed for stupid, ugly, banana armor. But, so we didn't want that to happen again. Luckily, my question was asked, or my question was chosen, and I was able to ask my question at the Q&A.
Our next question.
Hi there, my name is Reckles with WTBGold, and I have a question about gold making.
Ooh.
I gotta pause it real quick right here. Y'all saw me take that breath right there? Well, I didn't realize how hard it would be to ask a question because, like, when you're up there, you're right in the middle of this big auditorium and you've got speakers all around you, and the speakers, because you're right in the middle of all these speakers, they all hit you at the same time. So this, like, reverb echo thing is actually louder than your own voice, and it's on a delay. And then that sound bounces off the walls and comes back and hits you again, and it does that 3-4 times, bouncing off a bunch of different walls, and it's always loud. So anyway, I put in some work. Here's what I was actually hearing when I was asking my question. So I'm really try to do an example so I'm clear. If I'm trying to farm like a level 63 shoulder, I need to go out and kill a level 63 enemy in Outlands. If I can get it from a 64, but the drop rate cuts in half. Well, now y'all are saying that these zones are going to go all the way to 80.
how is the loot drop rate system changing? What are y'all doing? How is it going to affect us going forward?
He's a transmog collector for sure.
Yeah.
A gold collector.
I just sell them.
Our philosophy is basically if the thing dropped it before, it's going to keep dropping it. So things that, like gold will scale. It makes sense for gold to scale. If I'm doing a zone at 60, I should get the same amount of gold out of it. But if it's dropped, let's say it drops silk, it should still drop silk when we do our changes. That may not be 100% true based off of just some weird things that we might run into, but that's our philosophy that we're going with.
All right. Next question.
Thank you.
Okay, so as you can see, their heart is in the right place. Like, they're not trying to screw anyone over. They're trying to make the leveling experience better for everyone on the first time around and on the 100th time around, because everyone has a million alts now. But one of the side effects of that is that loot needs to be addressed, and luckily they've had an entire expansion to kind of iron out some of the basic kinks. But there are still going to be small little problems that arise that I need your help testing so that we don't have much time left where 7.3.5 is going to be on the PTR, and we can actually do some split testing. So that's what I did. I went out to live servers, and I spent 30 minutes at 3 different farms. And then I went back over to the PTR and I did 30 minutes on those same 3 farms and kind of compared my results, kept track of absolutely everything. And that's what we're going to go over for the rest of this video. So, first farm, the most important thing, just to get it out of the way loot works for transmog specifically, loot is going to scale to your levels. It's a lot like how loot works in Legion, where if you kill an enemy at level 102, that enemy is going to be 102. And if you're level 110, the enemy is going to be level 110. And it's going to drop the same gear, the same set, but the eye level is going to be different. Now, that's the way they said it would work in their official answer to me at the Q&A, but we needed to test it, and here are my results from the Blackrook Stronghold test, and everything on the left is the PTR, everything on the right is live. This is actually 2 people's loot on the left, so thank you to Persephone for helping me out. You're awesome. All right, so we've got the Abjurers set, the Chromite leg plates, heavy lamellar percussion shotgun, swashbuckler set, Templar pauldrons. All these are the same sets, and in some cases the same actual item, but the only difference was that in one instance they were eye level 49 to 54, and in another time they were 55 to 60. So you get the same gear. You're gonna get the same transmog appearance. So gold, as far as gold is concerned, on this aspect specifically, we should be fine. Prices aren't going to change drastically because my guess is nothing's getting removed. It's fine. But one of the important things is that the vendor cost of these items is dependent on the eye level of the gear. So with all this gear being a higher eye level, it's going to have a higher vendor cost. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to make more. I mean, that's actually kind of a bad thing for us as gold makers, because the auction house fees are 15% of the vendor sale price for every 12 hours you want to have it up on the auction house. So if you're posting your transmog up on the AH for 48 hours, then the auction house fees are 60% of the vendor price. And if they're doubling or tripling the vendor prices, we're going to start paying a lot more in auction house fees. It's still going to be fine. It's still going to be worth it, but it's just we're going to be losing an extra 1,000 or 2,000, 3,000 gold every time we post this stuff up on the AH. All right, next most important thing, and the other thing I've had a lot of questions on, is reagents.
Reagent.
Reagent.
To test this, I went out to the Infernal Throne of Kill Jaden. It's in Hellfire area. I'm good at WoW. Let's get Incandescent Fellspark. Oh my goodness. We're going to Hellfire Peninsula. It's the Throne of Kill Jaden, and I didn't keep the coordinates. Anyway, these mobs were level 70 on live servers. They're level 79 on the PTR, and the gear went from eye level 111 to 120 all the way up to 224. So again, you've got this eye level scaling and the vendor price of everything going up, but also this is where you farm Primal Fire from, and I got the same amount. That's the end of the story. I got 50 primal or 50 motes of fire for every 15 minutes I farmed on live servers and 50 on the PTR. If you're curious, that's 20 primal fire per hour, and that's 12,000 gold. So it's still a good farm if you just need some quick gold. Primal fire sells pretty quick. All right, and next we're gonna talk. We're gonna just finish it up with vendor junk, because there's actually like two different types of vendor. There's the white items, so health potions and fish and food and all that. I mean, I'll mention it. I won't go into detail on it, but it is going to scale. So you're actually going to get different. The stats aren't going to scale. You're going to get different food and different health potions, which is nice because since everything's going to be either level 60 or level 80 or level 90, depending on what zone you're going to be in, you're only going to really have like 3 different types of junk that you're going to have to vendor, and there are add-ons like Sell Junk has a whitelist where it'll always automatically sell something that you just add into it, so you're not going to have to manually go in every time you go out to any farm. You're just going to have to add raw slither mackerel and major health potions once, and no matter where you go, where you farm, it'll always vendor that. So I like that. That makes my life easier. The other thing, and this is something that I still have no idea about what's happening. The other thing is that at the Slither Scale farm in Desolus at coordinates 4353, when I farmed it on live servers, I got like 20, 30 pieces of gray items. Vendor junk. Sold for 100 or 500 gold, something like that. It was nice. It like gave me that immediate gratification you need when you're farming. So, you know, you go back out and you do it again. But when I went on PTR, I didn't get any gray items. The same amount of time, nothing dropped. But I got like 200 big mouth clams or whatever they're called. So, as just like an umbrella statement, vendor trash is going away in patch 3.5 and being replaced with reagent-filled items. That said, at the Throne of Kill Jaden, I got gray items. So take it back. You do get gray items, and in fact, their eye level is higher, so they vendor for more now. So this is the only part of all this that I'm kind of confused about. Like, if they want to remove vendor trash, I'm fine with that. It makes it feel it'll reduce inflation. If they give you reagent bags like clams, then that's good. You aren't losing value in the farm. You're still getting junk essentially that you can sell, but since it's not just going straight to a vendor, it's not increasing inflation, and you're still getting the same value of the farm. But if they do the opposite and they say, yeah, you still get the same pieces and they sell for 2-3 times as much now, then that's making inflation worse. And it's like, oh, are you wanting us to do guides on like where to farm specifically for vendor junk and where to farm not for? What do you want? What do you want from us, Blizzard? So I don't know what's going on there. Here's my request for you guys. I'll finish the video up. I've got a spreadsheet down in the description. Go click it. help me out. Go test a farm on the PT. Go test a farm for 10, 15 minutes on live servers. Go test a farm on the PTR. Keep track of the name and eye level of the mobs that you're killing, how long you were there, how many drops you got, the eye level range, and any outliers. Like, if you get a pattern of something that is actually a Wrath of the Lich King pattern and you're killing Burning Crusade mobs, let us know and let Blizzard know. Actually, yeah, don't let me know because I can't do anything about it. Put in a bug report because we have like 2-3 weeks to go out and test this stuff before our game will be changed forever and it'll be a lot harder to implement changes. This is the time where we can make the game as good as we want it to be. So go out, test it out. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys. Good luck and happy gold making.
The gold collector.
I just sell 'em.